a 2001 Mazda 626, has a 2.5 V6 engine in it. And the complaint is it has an overheating problem. Now, when it came in, the coolant was low on, or the radiator was low on coolant, and I found a small coolant leak in it. Anytime something like this happens, I always ponder the thought of, is the cooling system problem, is the leak the cause of the overheat, or is it a symptom of an overheat? And if so, then what is the cause of the overheat? So I filled the cooling system, I've repaired the leak, I filled the cooling system up, and I have tested the thing to make sure that there's no coolant or no combustion leaks into the radiator. So now at this point, the question is, does it overheat or not? Now, I've run this engine until it reached about 225 degrees and there was no fans come on. You let it run a little further. When it gets up to 245, 248 degrees, one cooling fan will come on. That's the right-hand cooling fan. Turning the AC on, only the right-hand cooling fan comes on. So there's two cooling fans installed on this from the factory, so obvious we have a cooling system problem here. a cooling fan problem, I should say. So now, looking at the wiring diagram shows that there is a cooling fan, a radiator cooling fan that operates, and a condenser cooling fan, but they are not combined together. Now, it's been my experience that when you have two cooling fans, that most of the time you have a two-speed fan system, low and a high, or one fan will come on at a time for your low cooling fan, and then as the engine temperature increases, the second fan will come on. It's also been my experience that when you turn the AC on, that both fans will come on to have maximum cooling. So here we're trying to find a diagnostic process on this and to find out what the problem is quick. My first grab is a scan tool. In this situation here, as an aftermarket scan tool, I'm able to turn the cooling fans on. Here's an option for low cooling fan relay. And it says, in parentheses, only if equipped. And high cooling fan, only if equipped. Okay, so I'm looking for a direction. So if I click my low cooling fan, let me back up a minute here. There's three relays down here on the front of the fuse box. And service information only tells me that these relays are behind the battery in front of the fuse box. It doesn't say which one of them is, so how am I going to find them out? Now, I can use wiring diagrams. I can pull these relays out. I can look at the wire colors down underneath there, but that's work. It takes time. So I always work with the premise of, let's make the vehicle test itself. In this situation here, I'm able to command the fans on with the scan tool, so why not use our ears and our hand to feel, and mechanical relays always make some kind of a vibration or some kind of a noise, or so you can feel them operate. So here, if now the low cooling fan doesn't work, so let's try that one first, and I can turn it on. And I can feel the center relay is my low cooling fan. Now my high cooling fan, I can turn it on, and obviously it works. So the problem is the low fan relay. Now I know that the relay clicks, but does that tell us that it is actually able to conduct current? That's a big question. So here again, I want to make the car test itself. I want to make the car talk to me and tell me what's wrong with it, instead of me having to go root the problem out. So if I can get this relay unplugged here. when you get old, you get blind, and lights are beautiful. Come on, unplug it. Okay, now the key is turned on, and this relay is a 4-pin relay. Logic will tell us that 2 of those pins have to have power on when the key is on, and 2 of them are going to be, one of them is going to be the coil ground, and the other one will supply the current to the fan motor. Now I'm going to use a power probe for this test because I can find where I have a ground circuit with it real easy. I'm not going to use this to activate the relay with. I hate doing that because it's too easy to kill drivers and computers. So now I can find here that I have power on 2 terminals. The key is turned on, and I have and I do not have a ground, a pass to ground showing on my test tool here. Now if I turn my relay on, cause the PCM to ground it, I have a pass to ground on one side and nothing on the other. So obviously, from this test here, I can tell that I either have an open motor or I have a bad, an opened in the circuit between the relay and the motor. The next test is going to be go to the motor and verify that system. You see, now I have a direction on this problem. I know exactly where to go. My next step is going to tell me the answer to my problem.